Have you ever heard a story so strange, so chilling, that it stays with you long after you've heard it? A story where the more you learn, the less you understand? Today, we're journeying deep into the Ural Mountains of Russia, to a place now forever marked by a tragedy known as the Dyatlov Pass Incident. It's a real-life mystery that has baffled investigators and sparked countless theories for over 60 years. Our story begins in January 1959. A group of 10 experienced hikers, mostly students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, set out on a challenging expedition. Their goal was to trek to a mountain named Otorten. The group was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, a seasoned adventurer, and everyone in the group was fit, skilled, and well prepared for the harsh Siberian winter. They were full of life, documenting their journey with cameras and diaries, capturing moments of laughter and camaraderie against the vast, snowy landscape. On January 28th, one member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and had to turn back. It was a decision that would ultimately save his life. The remaining 9 continued their journey, unknowingly heading towards their tragic fate. On February 1st, the group began their ascent of Kholat Syakho, which translates from the local Mansi language to Dead Mountain. Facing worsening weather conditions, including a blizzard and decreasing visibility, they deviated from their planned route and decided to make camp on the mountain slope. This was an unusual choice for experienced hikers who would typically seek a more sheltered area in the tree line. But this was just the first of many strange decisions. Their last diary entry, made on that day, was cheerful, detailing their work on a snow shelter and looking forward to the next day. This was the last time anyone would hear from the Dyatlov group. Dyatlov had promised to send a telegram by February 12th. When no message came, their families began to worry. At first, delays were common on such expeditions, but as days turned into a week, a search party was organized. On February 26th, the searchers made a horrifying discovery. They found the group's tent, half buried in snow, and it was clear something had gone terribly wrong. The tent had been sliced open from the inside, as if the occupants were desperate to escape. All of the group's belongings, including their warm clothes, boots, and supplies, were left behind in an orderly fashion. It was as if they had fled into the unforgiving, sub-zero wilderness with nothing but the clothes they were sleeping in. Following a set of footprints leading away from the tent, the search party made their first grim discoveries. Downhill, near the edge of a forest, they found the remains of a small fire and the bodies of 2 of the hikers, Yuri Krivonishenko and Yuri Doroshenko. They were dressed only in their underwear, despite temperatures being around minus 30 degrees Celsius. The branches of the pine tree above them were broken, suggesting someone had tried to climb it, perhaps to get a better view or escape from something. As the search continued, 3 more bodies were found between the fire and the tent site. Igor Dyatlov, Zenaida Komogorova, and Rustem Slobodin. Their position suggested they were attempting to return to the camp. They were also inadequately dressed for the extreme cold. The official cause of death for these first 5 hikers was hypothermia. It seemed like a tragic but perhaps understandable accident. Maybe an avalanche had scared them from their tent, and they froze before they could make it back. But this simple explanation was about to be shattered. It took another 2 months after the snow had begun to melt for the remaining 4 hikers to be found. They were discovered in a ravine, buried under 4 meters of snow, about 75 meters away from the pine tree. And their injuries were unlike anything the investigators had seen. Lyudmila Dubinina had massive chest trauma, similar to injuries from a car crash. Semyon Zolotaryov had similar crushing chest injuries, and Nikolai Thibault Brignol had suffered a severe skull fracture. Yet, strangely, there were no external signs of a struggle or impact on their bodies. What could have caused such devastating internal injuries while leaving the skin intact? To make the scene even more bizarre, both Dubinina and Zolotaryov were found missing their eyes, and Dubinina was also missing her tongue. The investigation was officially closed in May 1959, with the conclusion that the hikers died as a result of a compelling natural force. The files were classified and sent to a secret archive, fueling decades of speculation. What was this compelling force? Let's explore some of the theories. The most common early explanation was an avalanche. The idea is that a slab of snow slid down, forcing the group to cut their way out and flee. However, experienced mountaineers have disputed this. The slope wasn't steep enough for a major avalanche, and there was no evidence of one found at the scene. Plus, it doesn't explain the severe internal injuries or why they ran downhill, away from their gear, instead of digging it out. Another popular theory involves a secret Soviet weapons test. The area was known for military activity. Some speculate that the hikers could have stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to see, or were the victims of a concussive blast from a parachute mine or another weapon. This could potentially explain the internal injuries and their panicked flight. Some reports from other groups in the area mentioned seeing strange orange spheres or lights in the sky around the time of the incident, adding fuel to this theory. Investigators also found that some of the hikers' clothing contained low levels of radiation. While some sources say it was insignificant, others believe it's a key clue. Then there are the more fringe theories. Some people believe the local Mansi people, indigenous to the region, might have attacked the group for trespassing on sacred land. But the investigation found no evidence of other people being involved, and the nature of the injuries didn't point to a human attack. Of course, we can't ignore the supernatural theories. Given the mountain's name, Dead Mountain, and the bizarre circumstances, stories of yetis or other unknown creatures have circulated for years. While there's no evidence, the sheer strangeness of the case leaves people searching for any possible explanation, no matter how wild. In 2019, the Russian prosecutor's office reopened the case, aiming to finally solve the mystery using modern technology. After careful analysis, they concluded that a small, localized slab avalanche was the most likely cause. Their theory suggests that after setting up the tent on the slope, a slab of snow slid down, trapping the hikers and causing them to cut their way out in a panic. Disoriented and in near-total darkness, they fled downhill to the perceived safety of the tree line. The crushing injuries, they argue, could have been caused by the immense pressure of the snow. Once they realized there was no immediate danger and the camp was lost, some tried to return but succumbed to the cold. The others in the ravine were likely swept there by a subsequent snowslide. While this official conclusion provides a logical, science-based explanation for many of the elements, it still leaves questions for some. Why were there no external injuries? Why were some of their clothes radioactive? What about the missing eyes and tongue? The prosecutors suggest these were the result of natural decomposition and scavenging animals in the water-filled ravine. For many, this explanation feels a bit too neat, a bit too simple for such a complex and layered mystery. The Dyatlov Pass Incident remains a powerful and haunting story. It's a testament to the brutal power of nature and a chilling reminder of the unknown. It was a group of bright, capable young people, full of hope and adventure, who met an end that we may never fully comprehend. Their story serves as a puzzle box of clues, red herrings, and terrifying possibilities. What do you think happened on that frozen mountainside? Was it a freak natural event, a secret military operation, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.